Modern smartphones and tablets enable users to access a great deal of critical information while on the go. However, capacitive touchscreens are ill-suited for cold environments where users often wear gloves. Gloves insulate the skin's capacitance and force users to expose themselves to the harsh environments or resort to alternatives such as carrying a stylus. Large touch devices such as tablets are difficult to use in situations when one hand is occupied. With one hand holding the device, the user has extremely limited reach with his thumb to interact with the screen. In both of these situations, a potential solution is for the user to use his nose to interact with the screen. However, mobile user interfaces are not optimized for this method of use, resulting in a non-resolution. In this paper, we present Snout, a user interface tailored for nose-based input. Snout is an interface overlay which preserves the spatial organization of the existing interface, enabling post hoc optimization of existing applications for nose-based use. Based on pilot testing, Snout was designed based on 4 principles: preserve application UI layouts, minimize the number of nose taps required to complete an operation, minimize on-screen nose sliding, and eliminate the need for cross-eyed vision while touching the screen. These principles led to a trio of techniques: improved nose-based selection, touch-free continuous parameter specification, and nose-initiated speech-to-text. As with finger-based techniques, it is difficult to select small targets precisely. Techniques such as shift are not suitable because of the proximity of the phone to the user's eyes. To address this, on-screen targets are colored using a cyclical 4-color pattern, which ensures no adjacent targets are light-colored. When the user selects an item on the screen, the corresponding color of that item is flooded on the screen boundary, thereby giving feedback which can be easily seen at great proximity. The user doesn't need to focus on the area right in front of his nose, thereby reducing eye fatigue. As with shift, users can make corrections to their selection with color-based feedback. The user is constrained to the target the nose lands on and its adjacent items on the screen. If the user is too far off of the target or wants to cancel the entire nose-down action, a sliding gesture off any side of the phone cancels the interaction. In regular grid layouts, such as the application launcher, keyboard, and number pad, normally the user needs to touch down within the active region of an object to select it. With Snout's 2-stage selection, we effectively increase by a factor of 9 the area of the screen the user can touch while still selecting the object. Actions such as scrolling a list, panning an image, adjusting a slider, or zooming on a map location all require a user to have a full view of the screen. Furthermore, because continuous input is required, and our design principles include a minimization of nose-based sliding, an alternative sensing modality is used. The Snout design leverages acceleration and orientation data provided by the phone's onboard sensors. The user enters manipulation mode by touching the target object with his nose and then taps on the back of the device. Once the phone is in manipulation mode, he can move the phone away from his face and tilt the phone to control the direction and speed of his manipulation. For objects that have multiple manipulations, such as a map, users can easily cycle between them by using the volume down button. The volume up button commits the change and returns the phone to its normal mode. The gesture applies just as well as to adjusting a slider or scrolling a list of objects. Traditional text entry requires selection of small targets and requires a large number of touches. This hunt and peck interaction is ill-suited to nose-based input. With a single nose tap on a text box, speech recognition is initiated using built-in APIs.
Don't forget to feed the cat.
If a user wants to make a correction to the text or wants to send a very short message and doesn't want to use the speech recognizer service, keyboard entry using the color-based selection technique is still possible. In this video, we presented Snout, a new user interface that is designed for nose-based interactions. Snout is comprised of color-based selection, touch-free continuous parameter specification, and nose-initiated speech-to-text. Snout interaction is intended to be used atop existing UIs, enabling nose-based control of already released smartphone and tablet applications.